Welcome to the Creative Playing Podcast Network. Join us as we review our favorite RPGs, collectible card games, MMOs, video games, PC games, and bring up interesting topics and things that we'd like to share with everyone. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion to Ragnarok story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening. Go ahead, Tiro. Welcome back to the Creative Playing Podcast Network, RPGaDAY Challenge. It is August 20th. Most challenging but rewarding system have you learned?
That's a good question.
You know what I would have to say?
Which one?
Dresden.
The Fate system.
The Fate system. Because it can be weird because you have to you create aspects and world build. That can be daunting and weird at first. But you know what? At the end, it's really, really cool. So the rewards you get is this encompassing world that you had, part of, helped create.
Yeah, I completely agree with that one because it's a challenging but hugely rewarding because in the Fate system, before you ever make a character, the entire group, GM included, builds the game world. You set up, I want to fight this. I want to fight that. I want to know that there's this in town. I want to know that there's this bar that we can go and hang out safely at. And then the group as a whole starts building their characters off each other because they make their background aspect, their characters aspect, and then they start doing aspects based on my adventure with player 1, with player 2, and player 3. So that way not only do you have the players out of character know the world, they know the difficulties, they know each other, and in-game the characters know each other and have an idea of who's going to be faced across the town. GM still gets to flush everything out and fill everything out, but the basis is already out there in one quick sentence that's their aspect. Of the just one-shot aspects. And aspects makes it so much easier because I can just say, he's a womanizing drunk. That's an aspect. He is a slippery as an eel thief. Okay, he's the sleazy lawyer, It breaks down character parts to something digestible as just a one-sentence explanation.
Yeah. Or you can do more creative ones, or...
White Court Vampire.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking more along the lines of certain catchphrases and, that are communal, like, have gun will travel.
Yeah.
Things like that, that you can also employ to help give you an interesting interpretation of a...
Many pockets carry many tools.
Yeah, exactly.
You can go players can make it as complicated or as simple as they want. And one thing with the book is they always gives you that hottest of, okay, you have an aspect, talk to your group during character creation and make it cooler. Okay. And then again, let's make that aspect sound even cooler and specific. Like Chicago's only wizard in the Yellow Pages. That and part of the aspect is it's got to be something that when you say it, you think of your character. Except like in combat conditions, where here's mud in your eye is a great one of I'm using my agility to throw dirt in my enemy's eye to give him a negative that my group can then use as a free tag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a complicated system, but super easy once everyone learns it, relaxes, and lets it happen at the gaming table. And then, as a GM, I love the fact that you can bribe your players to make the story happen.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, they have an aspect, I have a negative angle on that aspect that moves the story forward. I can bribe them with fate points to let it happen.
Yeah.
And if they really don't want it to happen, they can pay me off to shut up and continue on my way.
Or if they're doing something that would be directly contrary, like for Dresden, damsel in distress, he can't,
Well, see, that's I can bribe you to use Dan's...
Or it's like, oh, well, you just let a woman get in trouble. Ha ha ha, guess what?
There is a consequence.
There is a consequence, so it's, I would say that one is...
The Dresden Files and Fate System. Which, by the way, if you guys haven't had a chance to check out the Dresden File game books, do it. It's really complicated looking, really scary looking. Not only is it a great novel series, but it is a great RPG based on the Fate System. And they do some twists on it that the normal Fate System doesn't use, but which is really nice.
And the book is kind of entertaining because it's a bunch of guys. They have lots of little notes in the margins from different characters from the novels.
Yep.
All editing and chiming in on interpretations and for the rules of the RPG. I think that's funny.
Yeah, basically almost every character in the actual book series has cliff notes. All the good guys, I should say, have cliff notes as they're reading these memoirs, because one of the story concepts is the RPG is a book being written to teach people to protect themselves from the evil supernatural. Because Dresden and the werewolves like to RPG.
Yep.
So for us guys, it's going to be the Dresden Files RPG and Fate System. Yep. Alright, like always guys, thank you for listening. Hey gamers, Jim here from Creative Play and Podcast Network. If you're in the Tucson area this September and October, I've got a special message for you.
Hey, this is Karen from RinCon. We are having our convention from September 30th through October 2nd here in Tucson, Arizona. Come out and play every kind of game under the sun with us. We've got role-playing, board games, minifigs, CCGs, we've got Artemis, we have panels with special guests, and this year the theme is steampunk. So get out your, dust off your dirigibles, get out your chapeaus and put them on, come on down.
Thank you for listening to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And feel free to enjoy our other shows, such as D&D Journey of the 5th Edition and Scion Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion hero to Ragnarok story. Thank you for listening.